Okay, I'm going to continue our discussion of radical equations here. Again, I could just call it squaring both sides because that's really what you have to do. For this next example, notice that the square root part of the expression or part of the equation is not isolated. And it really helps if you do that first. You don't have to, but it makes it a lot harder if you don't do it first. So that's my suggestion. So you have square root of 10 minus x equals 8 minus x. Now I am going to square both sides. Okay, now by doing that, I found that 10 minus x equals, now remember this is a perfect square, 64 minus 16x plus x squared. Now I can solve for 0 by throwing everything to the one side, and then by doing that, I can then use the quadratic formula to solve. So I'll subtract 10 from both sides, and that's going to make 54. And then I have a minus x, so I'm going to add x to both sides. I get negative 15x and plus x squared. So this might be factorable, and maybe I'll just rewrite this so we can see it the way we're used to. Okay. Now, by doing that, it seems like this is a leading coefficient of 1 problem. I need to find the factors of 54, which would add to negative 15. I think that might be 9 and 6. If you add those up together, you're going to get negative 15. If you multiply them, you get positive 54. So awesome. I think that's going to become x minus 9, x minus 6 equals 0. And from previous lectures, we found that if you multiply these together, one of them has to be 0. So you're going to get 6 and 9 as your answers. Now, I need to check and make sure that these actually work. And since I've kind of filled the screen with blue, I'm going to switch colors here, and I'm actually going to check my work. So by checking my work, I want to see, does x equal 6 or not? Does that actually work? That might be a little big. 10 minus 6. Plus 6 equals 8. Okay, well, the square or 10 minus 6 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So 2 plus 6 is 8. Yeah, last time I checked it is. Okay, now I'm going to check what's going on with x equals 9. If x equals 9, well, then you've got 10 minus 9 plus 9 equals 8. That doesn't seem like that's going to work, right? 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 equals 8. And so 1 plus 9 equals 8. No, I don't think so. No, that's not going to work. So 9, it just didn't work. We got that erroneously because we squared both sides. I mean, we squared both sides to get an answer, but, sometimes by doing that, you kind of lose information. And so that's why that's not working. So only one of those worked, and that was x equals 6 was the correct answer. Okay, now this one here is kind of confusing. You have x minus 2 times the square root of x minus 15 equals 0. Some people say do it by factoring. Yeah, you could do that. I think I'm just going to go ahead and do it like we've been doing it. I think, to me, that is more consistent. So I'm going to subtract x on both sides, and I'm going to add 15 to both sides. And by doing that, I get negative 2 root x equals 15 minus x. That looks good to me. Now I can do my trick where I square both sides, okay? And by squaring both sides, I get 4x equals 225 minus 30x plus x squared. Again, review perfect squares if you need to. Then I can subtract 4x on both sides. And so I get x squared minus 34x plus 225 equals 0. All right. Now, this does look like a leading coefficient of 1 problem. I don't know. Is it factorable? I need to find the factors of 225 that would add to 34 Do I know them? Well, let's play with the calculator and see. 225 divided by, is 9 and 25 work? Yeah, 25 plus 9 is 34. Yeah, 9 and 25 works. Cool. 9, 25, they're both going to have to be negative. Okay, so that's going to be x minus 25 and x minus 9 equals 0. And that implies that x equals 9 and x equals 25. Now again, we're going to need to check and make sure that that works. I'm going to do it in a different color so I can kind of keep track of my work. I think there's a C in that word. X equals 9. So I got 9 minus 2 root 9 minus 15 equals 0. That's 9 minus 3 minus 15 equals 0. That's 9 minus 6 minus 15 equals 0. No, I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work, right? No, I don't think 9 minus 16 is positive 15. So nope, that's not working. 9's not it. All right, let's check. 25. Let's see. Is that going to work? X equals 25. Let's see. So I have 25 minus 2 root 25 minus 15 is equivalent to 0. Let's see. Maybe 25 minus 2 times 5 minus 15 equals 0. 25 minus 10 minus 15 equals 0. 25 minus 10 is 15. 15 minus 0. Yeah, that works. So x equals 25 is the correct answer. Okay, so that's it. Again, we had an erroneous error, or erroneous error. We had an erroneous answer, and that was because we squared both sides. And so, yeah, you might predict that only one of them is going to work. Every once in a while, both of them work, and it kind of depends on what you're looking at, where that happens. But it's just good to check both of your answers. So reach out if you have any questions, but I'll see you next time.